Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Penalty Loop Podcast, a podcast about biathlon by Jordan Gottschalk from Penalty Loop and a regular guest, RJ Weiss from Biathlon Analytics.
Good afternoon, RJ. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great.
You have been Canadianized a little more in the last couple of weeks?
Yes. Yeah, we were up in Canada for a few days. Yes, getting ready for our big move. Yeah. So that was fun. The weather was nicer than it was in Florida, so looking forward to that. Although I guess I'll be singing a different story come January.
Yeah. But this is a great leeway to our guest who also moved from one country to another.
Exactly.
2025 returning guest.
Yeah, City Biathlon champion Lotte.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Lotte, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
I was hoping to see that big trophy in the back of
right?
the room there, but
Not so much on. I have a ski, a ski
Oh, there we
print on
go.
the wall, and
so
on the wrong side of
what
the.
did you win in Dresden?
I got some flowers.
Okay, and I'm assuming there's some prize money, or
Yeah.
Is that for you
guess
or
it
the
will
nation?
come. That's for me. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
but no big trophy or.
No, I didn't. So I brought
No.
home the flowers to my mom, so she got them.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was very sweet. Were your mom, was she there to watch you, or was she just watching on TV?
No, she watched on TV, but I flew directly to my parents' home after, so I thought it could be a nice gift when I came home.
That's magnificent. So yeah, I mean, obviously we planned this, by the way. We planned this before, and Lotte, you can confirm this. This is before you won. We had planned on talking to you, but now I need to know all about your experience. Like, when did you find out that you were going to be going? What was it like being there? All the fun stuff.
Well, so I actually got an invitation last year, but like last minute, I think someone was sick, so I couldn't participate because I was in altitude, but I said I would be very interested to get another invitation. So I got an invitation, I think it was in May. So since then I had it planned out and knew it was coming. So it was like, for me, quite a nice carrot for my training and a motivation. It's always nice to know that you're going to compete in summertime. And I watched it at TV, and for me it's quite huge to be invited to this kind of show because there are not so many spots every year, so I was very happy when I got the invitation and been looking forward to it for a long time.
Nice. And then you're like, what can I do to make sure that they invite me again next year?
Exactly.
Because really, they cannot invite the winner of the previous edition.
Yeah,
right?
I heard they said that the winner has a free spot, so I hope that's
There
true.
you
That would be
Absolutely.
great. So,
And you picked the right year for weather, because last year was miserable, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I heard. So, it was, Dresden, it's a lovely city. So it was really nice to we're staying in the middle of the city, so you could see a bit of buildings and run along the river. So, the whole package was very nice. Yeah.
So what did you all do there? I mean, like, when you get into town, are you all just like hanging out? Like, what happens, in the lead up to the actual event, to the actual race?
So we flew in on the Saturday, came in, in the middle of the afternoon. So then went for a run, shake out a bit. So that was basically what we had time for before it was like a sponsor dinner in the evening. And then we had the athlete presentation later on a stage before the crowd. So the Saturday went quite fast. And then in the Sunday when the race was, so in the morning have a breakfast, and then we went for another run to get some fresh air. And then still to prep a bit before the race, set up everything, and then we had to leave quite early, I think around 12, because we had zeroing and we had the prologue, and it was quite some time between the competitions. So from 12 until 8, I think I was at the stadium. So then it was, the races, but also watch the boys going, and also then after it was the ceremony and press conference. So it was quite intensive day, yeah.
And are all the athletes in the same hotel there? Like, is it organized by the race organizer?
Yeah, so it's all organized, so it's very nice to meet all the other athletes. Like, in this kind of event, you're, what can I say? I feel that everyone is a bit more relaxed. So and you're like then we're 20 athletes, so it's easier to get in touch with all the other athletes, and so that's very nice. And also on the for the competition, we have like a common space where we had our stuff, so we're in the girls are in the same wardrobe, place to find some food. So like between the races, you actually have time to talk a bit, which you cannot do in the winter. It's not the same, and it's like then it's like you're all focused on the race, and also to get away as fast as possible to start the recovery or like stuff like this. But here it's I really like it.
And you said there was a sponsor dinner. How does that work with food? Do you kind of have your own food then, or do you just kind of eat with everybody else, or?
So it was not that big. It was in the hotel, so
Okay.
so it was like a buffet, and then it was good food for us athletes as well. So
okay, yeah. And do you generally? Would you say? Do you like? Go ahead.
RJ, you've.
Okay, I'm not sure. Oh.
Sorry,
my
internet,
the connection
my
is
internet
not
started,
the best.
my internet started to disconnect. So, RJ, you go ahead and ask your question. I'm going to fix my internet. You guys I'll jump back in.
No, I was just generally curious. Do you, like, obviously it's a fun event, but do you generally like summer races and roller skiing in particular? Or is it more like, well, I have to do it, but I much prefer it to be in the winter?
I do prefer the winter, for sure, but I think I really like to have something to look forward to, and I know it's much more intense than in the winter. So I know it's really good practice for me, because I get very nervous when it's a long time since I have competed, and especially on these show events. I feel it. So, but I'm not like a big fan of competing on roller skis, but it goes well. So I know my skills are good enough for it, but I do prefer the winter and the snow for sure. But I really like this. I need it in my training, I feel too. If I have the possibility, I will not say no, because it's the best training I can get for the winter. So
well, especially nerves, right? It's really hard to simulate in training. So to have that experiences.
And you can't get the people any more closer than in a show race.
Right.
So this is really great. And also in Dresden, the track is quite long. So I would say it's the show race I done that's most similar to normal biathlon.
Okay. And I have a very particular question maybe about roller skiing, but when I roller ski, your wheels tend to, how would you say, shave off a little bit on certain sides, and I just swap them around so they don't get, angled on one side and flat on the other. But you always get a fresh set at the start of a race weekend is like this, or do you bring your own? Or
no, we always get roller skis, so they are supposed to be quite even. I think the ones we got now was used, but I think it's like we got some from Marve, and I guess that it's maybe the German Federation have sets for just for competitions that I think they like. Maybe they use them for a German championship, but they have some that's specified only for a competition, so that they should be quite evenly used.
Right.
So the wheels are fresh enough to, so they're not, the sides are not worn that much now.
Okay, yeah. And do you, does it take you a while to get really comfortable on these ones when you're used to other ones of your own?
Yeah, it depends a bit which brand that they offer. So now they had Marve, and that's the one I use in training. So for me it was fine, but like for the Belgian Championship we have another brand. So luckily you can normally get it for the warm up, so you get used to it, and it's much better if you can ski before. But sometimes that's also quite difficult, and you have to sneak your way a bit into the race sometimes. So, but so far this year I've been quite lucky with the roller skis I had.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
This was related specifically to, you mentioned having that downtime, so I apologize. We're kind of going backwards in the conversation. What do you guys chat about? Because it's sort of like a midsummer almost reunion of some of you guys. So when you have that downtime, what's the conversation like?
So it's a bit like where you've been on camps, how the training's been, and a bit like which situation they're in, also how it works a bit with the team, or how where they live, and a bit like this, because you know most of the girls, but you don't know them very well, so it's interesting to learn a bit about their situation. Yeah.
So any juicy gossip that you can share with us? No, of course
they
not.
They all
no.
looked quite strong, the girls, so no, not...
I was actually going to ask, knowing that, it's probably something you don't want to share, and I totally respect that, but I am really curious about the situation that Karoline Knotten is in, not training with the team. Have you heard of that before? Is it just because Norway has so many athletes, or? And again, if you're like, let's just drop it because I don't want to talk about it, then that's totally understandable.
Yeah, no, it's she's a very good friend of mine, so I'm we're all quite or very surprised when it happened. So it's there are many athletes in Norway, but there are not enough athletes on her level. So I still think there is something that's not been said in the situation. So I haven't heard any explanation from the federation about it.
Sure. Okay.
So, but what I do know is that she's training very well now, because she's an athlete who knows where she wants, and she has good people around her, and she looks very strong. So I think maybe in the long term, it's maybe a good thing for her, but for sure it's quite tough when you've been on a national team for so many years, and without having the results where you maybe would expect that you could get kicked out. Then this was a big surprise. So I don't know anything much more that's been in the medias about it. So yeah.
And then and again, I don't know if you know. Sorry, I was just going to ask on the financial impact if you're not on the team. Is that typically also part of not being on the team, that you just have less financial support?
Yeah, you don't get paid then.
Okay.
So she is paying for everything herself, and she's doing the full altitude camps. So that's very a big change. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dedication. I was just going to say that
Yeah.
clearly she's doing something well, because we saw her at the Blink Festival and she raced very well. And then obviously, in this race, came down to you two sprinting to the line, which led me to another question. You said you guys are good friends. Have you ever had an experience like that with her, where you guys are both in a race and you guys are sprinting to the finish? And if so, did you know that you could beat her right then?
I cannot remember anything coming down to the finish line like this. But I know since we started competing against each other when we were 15 years, so in the beginning of the junior years, it was always us two fighting for the championships, the national championships. So it would always be her that I was hearing her times in the track or something like this. So we've been quite close for many years. And normally she tends to be the best one. But we had a good, at least the last years. But before it was maybe I was I was better for the real titles, for the championships, but then she could be better for the other races. So we had our good fights, but I didn't, and I actually didn't know it was her on my side until I looked up after the finish line. I just saw someone coming. So when I saw it was her, it was even better, because it's the dream that we could be first and second when we have trained so much together and experienced so much together. So
you got to practice more on totally exactly the same time.
Exactly.
Across the finish line, right?
That would be awesome.
Well, I was just going to say that explains, there's a really great picture of you, like the instant you guys crossed the line, and I think you just saw her for the first time. And it sort of explains that look you had on your face of obviously you're really happy that you won, and also sort of like the surprise of who it was that was right next to you coming down the finish.
Yeah, and also I wasn't sure that I won when I crossed the finish line, because she came really fast. So it was like, ooh, did I take it? And I was like, oh, it's Karoline, wow. Yeah, it was a lot of emotions coming there. So yeah.
Oh man, that had to feel awesome.
Yeah, it's I didn't expect it at all before I went. And it's like, I just wanted to have a good time and practice on what I've been doing on trainings, but just to be able to be in the front and just enjoy biathlon. And then you're just there with the win. Then it's like, what happened? So, and I don't have many wins in my career, especially not in the international field. So it's just great. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a pretty nice little field there. Lou Jean Monod's in the field. Yeah, you're doing okay.
Exactly. So I know it's only summer, but I have to take what I can. So
celebrate it. Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah.
Is there anything you take from that? I mean, like you said, even though it's just summer, I think it was August 31st, the day of the race, that you take forward to November, to December, to this winter. Anything that you carry forward from it?
Yeah, of course, you get confidence that what you've been doing so far, it's working, but also a lot like I did have a lot of nervosity and like how I approach the mental game. I will take with me to be what can I say, that it's very possible to perform even though you are very shaking and nervous, and to actually manage it, because lately it's been that I'm more nervous and I don't handle it as well, but to actually know, okay, now I found some more tools to work with, how I actually can perform while I'm nervous. So that's great.
I love that.
And maybe that will give you the calmness to not be nervous anymore. So
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was. Oh, I was wondering, do you happen to know the person who decided to put that gate pretty much right after the finish line?
The gate?
Because it was it seemed like there was a very short runoff, and then you had to make a sharp turn.
Yeah,
like, did that person not know that there's no stopping on roller skis, or?
No idea. And also there were some people just in the middle of the track, like when we were turning, which I think was a bit surprised that we had to turn. So luckily it went good, but I think I heard there were some falling on the warm-up, like to check it out, because also the when we came into the stadium, it like covered in some plastic mats. So it's quite it's a change on the surface. So because in I think there was Ocean, she fell on the first lap. I think it was in the final, and I don't know if it was because when you coming quite fast speed from the asphalt and then you enter the mats, you have to be a bit careful, because your body's moving forward, but your roller skis are stopping a bit. But when we were racing, it was quite all right. I was more nervous about it when we did the warm up.
She's not the one who ran into the motorcycle with the camera, was it? I think that was Justus.
Oh yeah, I read about it, but I didn't see it. So I think
I didn't see it either, but I heard
one of the boys
in an interview after. But
yeah, that's not so good.
I have a question for you. If hypothetically you would be ahead of number 2 in the race and you were just slowing down and waving to the crowd, but then Maya caught up with you and beat you just to the finish line, how would you feel about that?
I would be so angry and so frustrated and sad. I think everything at the same time.
But would you be mad at her, or would you be mad at yourself?
Yeah, mostly myself, of course, because it's the game. You have to go until the finish line. So maybe you could be a bit frustrated if it's your teammate, but at the end, it's just your own fault.
You obviously were. Well, maybe you weren't still hanging around, but I assume you guys were still watching the race at that point.
I was actually watching it in the track, so I didn't know until I came back to the stadium. Then I heard the rumors.
Yeah. There's a great shot of Ocean. I think she was just standing a little bit off to the side, and you could see her reaction sort of just after it happened. It's obviously, yeah. Do you know, did Eric, did he buy dinner for Quinton afterwards to make up for it?
This I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't get the impression
I think they will be.
I was really interested.
No, maybe he needed a bit more time, but at the end I think it will be fine. But
yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's not the first time things like this happen, so it's a part of the sport, and give some action to it.
Oh, sure, and he'll just have to get him back in the winter, and
yeah, maybe it's can be even better for Quentin. That gives him the last anger into the trainings, and
Well, and I also think it's a lesson learned, right?
Yeah, I don't think it will happen again.
No. I can't imagine.
No, I was a bit surprised because I listened to Extra Runde, the German podcast, and the opinions were kind of split between, you don't do that, and oh, it's a race and you should fight till the end, and if you don't, then it's on you. So I actually surprised. I mean, I'm a little bit biased on Quentin, and I guess not in a positive way. But my initial response was, oh, well, that's, you should compete until the end. If somebody outcompetes you, then that's your fault. But I was surprised that there was actually people being more on his side, saying, oh, well, you don't do that to your teammate. But
yeah, but it's a bit like, because when I saw them in the track, they were quite close to each other. So I would have felt very chased if I knew someone were coming behind. And but also what I remember from the race is like, you don't hear, maybe when you come into the stadium, you don't hear the pulse anymore. So maybe then you think you're alone, but also there's a lot of crowd. So I don't know if he did look back at all, but some small things that you could make sure before you start celebrating that you have enough time.
And if I remember right, there are a couple like small turns before you get into the finishing stretch, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he just lost sight of him in one of those turns. I don't know, but
yeah, no, it's it can be a lot of explanation, but he learned his lesson.
Yeah, race to the finish.
Gonna ask, are you going to the festival in Bayern, Bavaria?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am. So that's gonna be nice to see what it's gonna be.
Do you know if they had events before that were just not like part of the IBU races, or like have they had summer biathlon before that you know of?
Not that I know of, no.
Have you guys been provided like a course map or like a general idea of how things are going to be set up?
Yeah, we have got some information about it. I haven't read it enough, but it's basically like a super sprint, what I understood. So it's the top 60 in the overall who's invited, and I think a lot of them are coming, or I don't know if you have to or not, but I know the big teams will for sure be there, and then for sure the smaller teams. So we have at least we have a quotas with 2 boys and 2 girls. So it's gonna be like I think the format it's gonna be the same like in the Summer World Championships last year. So it was directly the prologue is directly in the heats. So if it's 60, I don't know if it's 5 heats with 20, or no, not 5 heats, but I don't know if they divide by 15 or some, so I haven't seen exactly how many, and I think it's the 2 first will directly qualify. And then it's like the total time. And I also heard it will be some wild cards, like if it's the top 15 in the overall, or maybe pre-qualified for the final, something like this.
Winners of previous races in Dresden, or
that would be great.
Because how many shooting lanes do they have? Do you know?
No idea. So I guess that will. But no, they would need to have 30 then if the final is with 30.
Oh, I suppose.
But maybe the final is also with less athletes. Maybe 20.
Yeah.
But I would say they need at least 20 lanes if they're inviting the top 60. So then the final will be normal super sprint if it's 1.5K and 4 shootings.
And do you typically have time to either like to just kind of go on the track couple of laps just to sort of get a feel for it, or?
I would guess so. I would guess it's like normal biathlon race. We do the zeroing and the track would be open.
Okay.
Yeah, will be interesting
It's coming
to see.
up soon.
Yeah, coming quite soon. And this is more like, this is also, I would say, a show race. So it depends a lot on the shooting, the speed on the shooting. I'm not sure if it's with spare rounds or small penalty lap. I would probably say a small penalty lap. So yeah, it's very possible that you're just coming to Munich to do a prologue. Yeah.
Huh.
It'll be really interesting to see what the response is. So I think people have been pretty optimistic about it, but after it actually plays through, like what the athletes and coaches feel about it, because you understand the idea, the IBU trying to increase exposure for biathlon on roller skis. But you also sort of understand why it'd be sort of frustrating to make, the travels just for a prologue, like you were just saying. So I kind of understand.
It's exactly this. So, because it's quite, luckily Munich is quite central, but still you have to do the travel. So maybe they will expand it, or I guess they will see how popular the event is, because I think for the spectators it's a full weekend with a lot of activities, I would guess, but only the races, at least for us, on Sunday.
Okay.
Oh, I for some reason thought they were both Saturday and Sunday, but thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate that.
At least I know I'm traveling on Saturday, so I hope it's only Sunday.
Or you may not even participate in a prologue.
Yeah.
Because we were saying like penalty loops are time, but the penalties in Dresden, that was, let's just say, not ideal, I'm assuming, when you're all crammed into that little space. And
yeah, it was special. I never experienced this kind of penalty before. But on the one side, you have those 10 seconds, they really matter. Like, you really can get your heart rates lower. So it's quite different to just pass the penalty box instead of stopping there and get those extra breaths. Yeah.
It just felt really crowded and complicated if somebody was ahead of you but had 3 misses, and then you only have 1, and how do you get past that person? And
you really had to just take care of it yourself, because there were not enough volunteers there to take for one person each. When I came in, I didn't knew which one I was going to, and then I saw he had 2 stopwatches, and then mine didn't start, so I said, it's not going, and you're just panicking. At the end, you just had to watch when he said go, and then I went with the one I came in with. So it's a part of the game.
Yeah, because with that finish, every second matters, right?
Also, so.
And then after Munich, are you going altitude, or?
I'm actually going to altitude on Monday. So then we'll go 3 weeks to Font-Romeu in the Pyrenees. So I will be home for 2 small weeks before Munich. So then I will go to Munich just for the weekend, and then I will travel back and go directly to the snow tunnel in Sweden and combine it with this. But
Is that the best tunnel at this moment, would you say, or is it just because
no, it's the closest one here. I think the one in Oberhof, it's much bigger. But that's too long to go for to go
Norway, there. There's one just outside of Oslo, I believe, too, right? Or is that just a commercial?
I actually I haven't been there. Okay. So I don't know how good it is.
I saw some video at some point that they actually have like a top and bottom level.
Yeah, so you can go there for alpine skiing as well.
Okay.
So that's quite great.
Wow.
But the one in Sweden has also a shooting range inside, but that doesn't the one in Oslo have.
Okay.
Okay.
And Oberhof have what? Couple of lanes
Also,
only, I think.
yeah, also.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so they're about the same size for the lanes, but the Oberhof one has more hills. The
Right.
one in
Yeah. I
Sweden,
keep
it's
thinking
yeah.
the Oberhof one looks like that it used to be a parking garage, and then they just.
Yeah. True,
And I
yeah, the
honestly think
outside
that
of
might
it.
actually not be a bad idea to have if there's an old parking garage or whatever, just kind
Yeah,
of lock everything in so that there's
Mhm.
no temperature escape or heat escaping, and then
yeah, put on the
cool it down.
freezer and
Yeah,
true.
because there must be some like Holland and Belgium must have some indoor skiing places where you could technically practice skiing uphill or.
Yeah, so yeah, it's for then for alpine or snowboarders. So I haven't been there, but so I guess, yeah, if you would want to ski uphill and if they close the track for you, it's
Yeah,
possible, but you still have to ski down again, so it would be,
right,
yeah, maybe it could be
Mhm.
fun, but don't know how doable it is.
right, right. And because Belgium opened the biathlon stadium a couple of years ago, I think. Do you roller ski there a lot or?
So when we are there for camps, we do. So the track, it's 1K. So it's not the longest one, but there is 15 lanes. So, and we can also ski on the road. So to mix it up a bit, it's
Right.
fine. But yeah, I did a threshold interval there, and I don't know if I did like 30 laps then on the track. So yeah, it's fine for when you're not there for a super long
Mhm.
time, but
Right.
then it's great, and it's actually quite a hard track because you don't get any rest.
Okay.
And now I don't know if it's arrived or not, but they're also getting a treadmill there on the
Oh, okay.
stadium,
Yeah.
so that will be perfect.
Yeah.
Then yeah, then and then we can go
It's not
directly
the
on
one
the
from
shooting range.
Johannes
Yeah.
Finnesbo.
We should have been a bit earlier because it was
Yeah.
quite fast sold, but but that will be a very good addition
Yeah. Oh, that's
for
good.
Belgium.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
then because it's also, other than being able to go indoor, you can also do a lot of measurements and stuff, right? Like
Yeah,
performance
yeah, you
measurements.
can
Yeah.
do the max tests and lactate profile testing,
Mhm.
and for the technique, it's great. And yeah, if the weather is not the best, it's also nice to go inside. Or
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a great tool for in the training.
You guys are one of the big boys now.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah. How cool is that, right?
We're
Though
trying.
I mean, at this race, like you and Thierry were both there, so it's like Belgium was right there alongside the other big nations. And was it? Did you guys host the British team earlier this summer? You guys did some work
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah, no, it's we're really expanding quickly. So yeah, so for once we could be like the big brother for the Great Britain team. So they joined us on the altitude camp in Bessin, and
Mhm.
there was also one girl who joined us and for the training camp in Belgium together with the championship.
Mhm.
So it's really incredible to think about, like when I started for Belgium, what's happened since then, and how much, yeah, we have more staff. And
Mhm.
yeah, the camps in the beginning, I didn't go on camps with Belgium, also because I was the only girl, and now we're suddenly 5 girls at camp.
Mhm.
So it's very cool.
I mean, do you ever reflect on what kind of a role you have played in that? Because I mean, without you and Maya and Thierry and Florent, I mean, you guys are really the big four that have pushed the Belgian performance forward in the last 5 years or so. I mean, without you guys, I mean, probably none of this really happens, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so much about it. It's just, yeah, it's fun to take part of it and actually, but also it's very nice to have a role in it, to be able to, yeah, I think more about giving feedbacks and like how, because we know how the professional teams works, so try to implement it, and it's not easy because we are a small nation. We have to build up have enough money for everything what we want, but also then actually showing that we are capable of delivering results, not just like we need this and we need that, but then actually pay it off by results to the federation, or to show the other countries that we are serious about trying our best. So it's really nice to be on races and hearing that the coaches, they get like a clap on the shoulder from other coaches to acknowledgements for the good work. So yeah, it's great.
So funny, you just beat me to that question, Jordan. And I was like, I don't know, I want to ask it because I know she's not going to say, yeah, I'm a big part of that. She's probably going to say, well, I just happy to be part of it.
Well, let us say it. Let us say it then.
Yeah.
Because it is pretty phenomenal. I mean, you think back to where the team was like before the last Olympic cycle, and it's not like you were bad, but just the changes that have happened, the growth. I mean, last year, you and Maya were both regularly in the mass starts, like 2 consistently top 30 women, whereas like that just wasn't the case, right? Yeah, and you had, was it just last summer, or last November, like Thierry had his first top 10, like Florence Claude has been up there as well, right? I mean, it's just, you guys, the Belgian flag is now routinely seen, much higher up in those finishes. In the last 4 years, you guys have had a bunch of really good single mix and mixed relays. Like the ability to achieve those results is significantly different now than it was, in the last Olympic cycle. And that's you guys. That's you guys did it, and all that hard work is really paying off. And now, like you said, the results, the ability to get those results is there.
Yeah, no, it's it's so cool that we're several athletes who can do it together. So that's very inspiring, and also like I think we see a lot of the benefits that we have been on training camps. So we do the work together, and you know each other well, and just the team spirit has also grown with this, which I also think also is a huge matter, and also for the trainers are very, they give their best, and they do all the hard work for us. So it's a big team who we are all like dreaming on for the Olympics in 26. So we are going there with high goals also. So it will be very exciting and interesting to see how we can handle this, because for everyone it's the big objective since for the last 4 years. So but so far we know we are doing the job, but you never know what will happen those weeks anyway. So
for sure,
as long as we work and we have fun together, that's all we can do. Yeah,
that was very pleasant.
Do you have any idea about how many kids are in biathlon, and if that's grown over the last 10 years? Or
it's for sure growing, because we also have we have the biathlon stadium, but there's also opened another stadium for laser.
Okay.
So
Cool.
And there's what's very big in Belgium is what they call cross biathlon, so it's running and then shooting with laser, where you can participate whichever how old you are. So this one is quite huge, and then like this, I think more people hear about it. For sure, it's more in the because since the stadium and both stadiums are located in the French and German part of Belgium. There are most athletes from there, but then also I know a lot of Flemish people hear about it, but maybe they don't. Yeah, they cannot start because it's a bit far away. But I think, yeah, seeing that we can make results, it's growing.
And I know you're very humble about it, but to me, that is where you also play a big role. That, like what Jordan was saying, when kids are getting interested and they actually see a Belgian flag when they're watching World Cup or something, and Belgian athletes, that is so inspiring, right? Then if you just watch it, but there's either your country that is not represented or... So no, I think it's...
Yeah, for sure. You see, and we see it every year now on the Belgian Championship. There are more and more fans, and also I see more and more smaller kids who are there to look, or who have done the races earlier in the morning and who can watch us then go live. I think it's quite a big inspiration for them. So, and then we are still there on the arena, so we are able to chat if they want or dare. So it's not like we're just okay, they see us on TV, but they don't know anything more about us. But at least once a year they can be closer.
Yeah.
Do kids line up to get an autograph or talk to you, or?
Yeah, there are some who do that. So that's also nice.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You mentioned your training camps, and I apologize for the sort of abrupt transition there. You've been to a bunch, and you have a few more planned before the season starts. Does it change? Is it different going into an Olympic season, especially an Olympics that is going to be in Antholz, high altitude? Does it change your preparation from a normal season, or is this just like prep for a normal season with just maybe some minor tweaks?
I would say our training camp schedule is exactly almost the same like last year, because that's been the goal for the team, is the Olympics. So we started last year with altitude camps. The year before, we had like 2 times 10 days in altitude. And I know, like, with the background I have from Norway, that I should be there at least 3 weeks to have effect. So I went either before or after those camps. I stayed on my own. And then I also said it to the team that whatever we do, I need 3 weeks, and I'm very happy that it ended up being 3 weeks with the whole team last year. So we started with the real altitude plan. So last year was not a test, but then we tried it and it worked well for everyone, and it's quite nice that we went into this season knowing we were going to do the same. So it's not like suddenly we're implementing something new, which makes it more you trust what you're doing, and you know it works well. You know where we're going, where we're going to train, which facilities we have, how to use them better, depending on the stadiums, seeing what was our weakness during the winter. Then we can implement those small details instead of changing the big picture. So I really think that's nice. And then we will see next year. I don't believe we're going to do that long altitude camps anymore, since we are not going to compete so much in the altitude.
Sure.
I was going to ask I didn't look up your results or anything, but just your general sense about Antholz.
Last year was very good. And for Antos, it's been a place where normally I'm happy with my physical performance. At least then we are coming directly to the altitude from RuPauling. So it's a bit different than how it will be this year, but I do like it there. I had some good results, but also some bad ones. So it's a tricky stadium, or you do feel that you're racing an altitude on the shooting range. So it's like this, but I'm quite confident about the stadium. I know that I can perform there at least. Yeah.
And what about the track? Because I mean, it's a pretty tricky track with some sharp turns and stuff, right? Is that?
Yeah, I have fallen once at least in the downhill. So, but it's also a track that invites for a lot of I would call it 1-1 technique. Is it V2? So you have to be really strong. So this also I've been trying to implement in my training this year to prepare more specific for this kind of track. So we'll see how this go, but it's a tricky track, but also a really nice one. Yeah.
Well, I can imagine that that last hill where you kind of zigzag down is going to be packed with people and be completely crazy.
Yeah, it's they always have it's a great atmosphere there and normally good weather. So I'm very happy that we're gonna race there for Olympics. That will be so great.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And one very particular question. So when you kind of come out of the woods and you turn left up on that hill that you then zigzag down, there in the last couple of years there was this advertising board that had a BMW that sort of goes up the hill with you. Do you see that when you race, and does it motivate you to I want to beat the car, or?
Well, I cannot say that I have noticed when I've been racing actually, because I don't have any memory of it.
Okay.
This is kind of a strange question, but I've noticed a lot of teams have sort of made a pilgrimage. They've gone to Antholz this summer. And it makes sense to me. You know, of course you'd want to go there. The Olympics, it's a beautiful place to train. But is there anything that can really be gained by going there in the summer that you don't already know? And I would imagine that the tracks you would be skiing on in the summertime aren't necessarily the same, just because you can't do necessarily the same things on roller skis versus snow skis. So I'm curious if you know of any specific advantage to being there in the summertime, other than it's just a comfortable place to be.
Yeah, well, that's my point of view, is that it's not enough similar that I didn't prioritize going there this summer. I've been there on summer camp before, so I don't know if they have changed it a bit, but then the roller ski track didn't go on the field with the scary turns or the uphill. So for the women tracks, it's not that much the same. And you get a lot of more speed into the stadium than you do in the winter, I believe. So, but for sure, you gain maybe some experience on for the wind, the stadium like this. But I don't know if it is different in summer than in the winter. So I tried to be quite good about when we were there this winter to just see how things works and take notes from the races instead of going there for the summer, because I also believe that you have to do maybe a lot of hiking to go there, or you have not the best possibilities to ski for a long session outside the track. If you do, because if I would be going, I would say I would have to stay for at least, maybe 2 weeks and then maybe go another place for altitude. But to make it worth it, I would do it as a real altitude camp. So, yeah, it's like give or take. It could also just mentally be like, okay, I've been here. You get more confidence by that, and you also will get some experiences. But if it's the game changer or not, I'm not sure about. So
Yeah, for sure.
I also wonder in a way that if you go there in the summer when it's really quiet and empty, I suppose, if the shock of being there during the Olympics will be even bigger.
yeah, maybe. So
Because I mean,
it was quite cool that they had the Italian championship, because I saw a lot of teams went to this. So you kind of you can simulate it a bit. So that's at least if I would go, I would go it so I could compete at the same time. So, but then I had Dresden this year, so
right.
was easy. And for me, it's a long travel to go to Antos. And if we didn't go there as a team, I would have to do it on my own, which I would make it work, but yeah, I didn't fit it with or other altitude camps either.
Would you have to fly to Milan and then drive from there?
I think maybe Munich is the best.
Okay.
And then I think it's like 4 hours drive.
That's
cool drive, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we had Flora. He went there for 1 week for a camp on his own. So he did it. But yeah, he can also go back to France after. So it's a bit, I think, easier with his car. And
we've had you for almost an hour or so. RJ, I don't know if you had more questions you wanted to get to.
Well, there was 2 things I wanted to quickly jump back to when we were talking about Belgium growing as a nation. Have you also noticed that at the level of the WEC stacks, like as that team expanded, because I know there's some collaboration with the French team at some point, but
yeah, we still have the collaboration, but we have a desperate need of more waxers, because now this winter it will be a lot of times where we are 4 girls and 4 boys, since we have those spots. And yeah, we have, I think before Christmas at least, we will have 3 waxers with us, which is great. But I do see that they work a lot in the winter time. So yeah, you do feel quite sorry, because they really do their best for us. So it's a lot of pressure on them for sure. So, but we're still quite lucky that we have the collab with the French team. So if not, I think it would be even harder to have good skis.
And the second question, I think it was the first time or second time we talked to you, you kind of prepared us for Maya's arrival on the World Cup.
True.
Any other youth that's coming up that we should keep an eye on from Belgium?
So we have, what's gonna call it, a new girl who came back to Belgium this winter. So she already did the relay in the World Championship in Lenzerheide. She's really impressing me. She has a cool head, so she doesn't get easily affected on the shooting range. But she's still young, so she has to take step by step.
Right.
But I think she is a quite good fit for 4th girl on the relay. So maybe we can aim even higher for the total for it. So it would be great if we can close up to a top 10 if we all have a really good day. But it's they're training well. So, but still, you have to have some more years, because she's quite young.
Sure. Yeah.
But for
And
the
boys?
future, it's nice to have. And same with so we are together with the juniors on the training camps, which is quite cool because on training you don't see that big difference, or when you're doing easy or on the shooting range, we can all match with each other, which is quite good. So I'm quite sure the juniors are coming for the boys. If it's this year, I don't know yet, but I see that they have a good potential.
That's good. Jordan, you had any more?
Yeah, my last question was, it looks like you took a vacation to the United States this summer?
Correct.
Where did you go?
She didn't visit. What?
Yeah,
So
you
actually,
clearly didn't.
my boyfriend is from the States, so that's why we went to visit his family. So he's from Pittsford, Rochester, New York.
Okay.
And then we went for a week in the Adirondacks, so not so far from Lake Placid. So
Yes.
had a great time there.
Did you sneak over and see the new facility?
Well, I was planning to, but at the end I didn't have the time. But I had I did roller ski up. I don't know. Are you very? Do you know the area?
Yeah.
So I went up to what's the name? Mount Whiteface. It's the highest. So this I had a really good interval session up there, which was great.
I imagine you did. Yes. We used to live not too far. I mean, so Rochester is on the south side of Lake Ontario, and we lived up around the bend, so closer to Canada, in a town near Watertown. So nobody, yeah.
How many times did you run or bike up that hill, Jordan?
0 times. I did it 0 times.
Oh, it's a great one.
Oh, it is. Yes. And that's why I did it 0. I admired it. With that, thank you so much. Lotte, you've been incredibly gracious. We really appreciate your time. And we are very excited that we were able to have you on so soon after your big win. And we can't wait to have you on again after you have some even bigger wins this winter. How about that?
That will
First
be fun.
after Munich, right?
After
Quick catch up after Munich.
Yeah, starting in Munich.
We'll see. But,
You can
but
tell
thank
us
you
if the flowers
so
are
much
better.
for having me.
Oh, yeah,
It was
absolutely.
always a pleasure to talk with you guys.
Yes, we greatly enjoyed it. We enjoyed it now. We've enjoyed it in the past. We enjoyed it in Oslo. Like we've always had a good time.
Yeah, are you coming to any races this season?
I have it penciled in on the
Love to.
calendar to be back in Norway. Yep, but we'll see. Yeah. Yep. So we'll have to meet up again there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know
All
where
right.
I am,
kind of leaning towards Nova
yeah,
Mesto.
exactly.
Nova Mesto.
Nova Mesto would be great. Yeah, would love to be there as well.
Okay.
Yep.
That's also big of a show. I will not go there actually this season because we'll do pre-camp directly after repolling to get enough
I
time.
guess we're not going to
prep.
Nova Mesto this year then.
Yeah, we're canceling it. That's it. Yeah, we can't go.
Yeah.
One, and I think Suvi Minkinen is also not going because she's going to be preparing for the Olympics as well. So that's it. You know,
I
if you
think
two
there
aren't going to
are
be
going to
there,
be a lot of athletes who maybe are, if they're skipping, I think they will skip Nova Mesto.
okay, that's it. All right.
Maybe.
Well, I don't care about them. Just, Lotte and Suvi not going to be there. I don't need to be there. All right. Let's get out of here, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye.